Hello and welcome to my first Happy Chaos VOD review video. I'm going to try to dive deeper into the different playstyles the top Happy Chaos players have, along with how they play different matchups. I thought it'd be a good idea to start out with the most well-known Happy Chaos player, UMISHO. From what you'll see, UMISHO tends to be a pretty defensive player who waits for good openings, then follows up with very strong mix-ups to close out rounds. But they're also very good at managing resources, especially when it comes to zoning. In these VOD review videos, I'm going to try to switch up my style to be unscripted, but since I'm just trying it out, I'd appreciate any feedback in the comments. Let's get right into it.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Alright, UMISHO, a pretty defensive round start of dash block. Really good in general because Nago has a lot of really aggressive and high reward round starts that beat most of your options. The only real counter option that Happy Chaos has is 2D. It beats Far Slash, 2S, and DP. It makes it a really good round start option that kind of forces Nago to use 5k if they want to be poking a lot at round start. But the risk reward is really high for both of these characters. So staying defensive is not necessarily bad. And if you want to try to bait out, one of the special moves a little bit more, like DP round start, doing walk back into crouch block is good because then it also keeps you safe to 2S. Which is another really good round start that he has. But once you get out, doing IED J2K is a really good option because of how wide Nago is, and even if they try to do a 6P, they have to be pretty preemptive because of how low J2K hits. It beats a lot of 6P startups. And then even after you do J2K and then have the gun out, having the gun out in general against Nago is really good because he's big, so it tracks onto him faster, and because he can't run around and jumping around is not really something he does, the reticle will stay tracked on him a lot more. So even if you miss the J2K, he's still kind of, even when he backdashed, the bullets still track to him. So just having the gun out can almost force a neutral win, but you do need to be careful because he can still poke out buttons when it's not tracked on him yet. So because of that, he's able to start some really spaced stagger pressure, and it's really scary for HOTASHI to match on any of this, because any knockdown leads to either getting focus or getting bullets back, and then the pressure gets even worse. So the other important thing is you can see he ended with 2-3-6S, which is really good because HOTASHI decided not to FD because I started off with low meter to begin with, and there's not that much chip damage to worry about, but the risk is starting to build, and because you can end with 2-3-6S, UMISHO could have pushed the turn a little bit more by doing gunshot into run up, but then that would have left them at basically no concentration and right in Nago's face. But instead, they're going to decide to just do 2-3-6S, stay plus, put the gun away, which is completely safe to Far Slash. Right? And then gets the 2k 2D knockdown and goes for a mix-up, but misses the air backdash. Right, 2k 2D gets focus. It still has a few bullets, so it can go for a high-low mix-up, and then if they guess right, then they get a lot of bullets back. So close slash, jump, shot, J2K, do another shot after this, and then you can do air backdash JS, or you can do land 2K. Also, if you do J2K and you hold forward, you'll pass on to the other side, and that would let you do air backdash JD as the high. But here it just gets close slash, so unfortunately does not get the mix-up. And then just goes for a little more stagger pressure, and since you're out of bullets and can't confirm, 6S keeps you high enough that you can get super into wall break. Safe jump, really strong mix up here. If you do IED J2K and then shot, because you do IED J2K, they stand, and then after you shoot, the blockson actually forces them to stay in the standing animation, so it lets you do a rising J2K to fuzzy again. So really strong option, and good on UMISHO. After burst, Fukyo Beyblade is a really strong option to catch any kind of zoning or curse or anything. Immediate wall break, right back at them. Burst, doing Scapegoat is really good after burst, obviously, for a lot of reasons, and it's really good against Nago, because all of his big moves are going to try to poke you through it, but even if you run in front of the Scapegoat, as long as they make contact with the Scapegoat, then you'll still be safe. But a little BRC war, typical situation is to just kind of bait one of you to throw. Like if UMISHO went for throw and then HOTASHI did command throw, obviously HOTASHI would win. So jumping away is a good way to stay safe and also to bait throws. And then HOTASHI tries to chase and air throw, but ends up getting punished. A big optimization, but because Naga's a heavy, can't extend as much as you'd like, ran out of bullets and was basically out of concentration. I don't think there was a way to optimize to kill, so could have maybe ended in 236S and then done a safe jump. But I think it was still worth trying to get as much damage as possible. Just unfortunate that it didn't kill. Nice IBFD. And some walking around pressure to get mashed on to end the round. Right, another defensive round start from UMISHO. Decides to just back up and let HOTASHI with some buttons, but gets off a Beyblade into a frame trap and DP, which leads to a really high reward, but also a lot of risk for HOTASHI. Misses the 2k meaty and decides to just back off a bit. UMISHO capitalizes, gets Curse on, tries to get a guard crush shot into focus just to get the resources and set up zoning, but the BRC really ate the input for the shot. It's really scary when you're negative edging a shot and they have 50 meter. Yeah, as soon as HOTASHI had the 50 meter, BRC Beyblade is a really, really good option. So gotta be careful in this matchup. Tries to bait out a throw or a mash. And we showed dash blocks before. Yeah. When they're spaced like this and they're minus, delayed dash block or just dash block is fine. It is a little scary to immediately dash block because they still have cancel options, but you can see by the blood level, HOTASHI probably wasn't going to cancel anything. But yeah, dash block, delay button to catch just footsies. And then dash jump shot. Yeah, let me play one more time. So Curse, because Nago is bigger and because Curse is then on them, it's more likely that the bullet will track faster onto Nago. So getting 2k2d Curse dash up pull out gun basically lets you set up a high-low from OK. So yeah, after the dash jump, you do a shot to meaty, and then you can do air back dash JD, or you can just go low. And then here, it looks like was a bit of a burst bait. Yeah, like all of this was burstable, but I guess it would probably take a second to register, and there are definitely ways that UMISHO could have burst baited by just doing Curse earlier. Got it on like 2k2d Curse, and that probably would have burst baited. But then, since 236S is a guaranteed burst point, doing red RC to make yourself not burstable is pretty good. And then keeps this all burst safe, misses the Curse on the end of the zone. Yeah, so shot and gets focus, which is really strong. But yeah, Curse goes right past, but get enough bullets to guarantee a Curse again. So shot, throw Curse, shot, and then now resources are really low, but Curse is on them, so all of these fast shots are guaranteed. Don't need to go for guard crush shots, but if you're not doing guard crush shots and then you do focus, it's gonna be much harder to actually enforce your turn. They can approach a lot more, but in this case, Nago can't really get in fast enough to stop them. So it's just really important that here, there's only 2 bullets left, so shot. The only 2 options that UMISHO really has if they want to continue zoning are to just do focus after that one shot, or they can just do another frame trap shot, which is exactly what they did. And it looks like HOTASHI was really trying to risk it doing Fukyo, but got clipped. And because they got clipped, you get two focuses off, so back to almost full concentration with the slight buff. And now the only thing to get back is the bullets, but since Nago can't go anywhere because they're at high blood, the only way to really approach is to jump. And since their only way is to jump, you get a guard crush on the jump, which leaves you even more plus than normal, so you can reload a lot of bullets. Got 5 bullets, and you're still at like 70 concentration. So that round was pretty much over. It is really important to manage your bullets and your concentration in this matchup when they're at high blood. It does get much easier when they're at high blood because they don't really have much options left. They kind of have to just jump at you and walk at you. And when they jump, just make sure that you're getting the guard crashes so that it sends them much further back, and then you can get way more resources.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
This round start, UMISHO decides to be a little bit more aggressive by doing a dash jump, but still gets clipped, and then blocks the Beyblade, same as last time, but looks like this time we know why UMISHO jumped out. Because now that they got the bite off, it is going to be pretty difficult to defend Naga. But as you see, it's really good to FD, just one to not get the chip damage, and also on the meaty, because UMISHO FD'd, close slash into dust is not going to hit. Pokes with 2S into shot, pretty standard. Yeah, 2S into shot as a counter poke is pretty good, but just barely missed. Jump around with the gun out, R slash shot, confirm into a knockdown. But there's no real way to be safe against reversals without hard baiting, so just gotta take what you can get. Mash on the Fukyo is really good. Unfortunately, gets burst baited, and that is a very fast round. Yeah. Another dash jump block round start, gets clipped by DP, gets put into a frame trap situation, and gets counter hit. Fast wall break, or not a wall break. Whiffs close slash into throw. A really strong situation for HOTASHI, but also is draining a lot of their own life. This time tries to Fukyo, but doesn't have BRC to mess up the negative edge, so just gets clipped out of it. Now has curse on them, so zoning is going to be much stronger. Yeah, so if you hit them with an airborne shot at the end of a combo, you pretty much get a focus guaranteed, and since curse is on them, you can start your zoning really fast. Even if HOTASHI is trying to Fukyo or Fukyo Beyblade, there's no way that he's gonna get close enough. So getting shot and putting curse back on them, using up all your bullets. Yeah. So curse, shot, send them back up into the air because you can see how low concentration is. Might as well use that bar to get it back. Reload, they still have curse on them. Yeah, BRC this time. Tries to BRC Beyblade, but the difference is last time they tried to do the BRC Beyblade while it was already zoomed in and locked on. So UMISHO had probably already released the button, released the negative edge shot by the time BRC was starting, and that's what the input was eaten. But this time, since BRC is done before the shot is even locked on, there's no reason for the input to get eaten. So just get shot right out of it because curses on them, it can guaranteed hit them. Tries to guarantee another curse on them. Yeah, tries to get another curse, but if they get hit, it doesn't really matter. If they block, then you get another curse. So really confirms, uses all the bullets. Right. Doing steady aim shot into roll just to get close, and then confirming with 2 more shots is a nice way to confirm. Gets counter hit, and that's the end of the round. Thank you for watching.